with the way this season is going, you shouldn't be surprised to learn the number one receiver in fantasy football went down in the semifinals. Hey, I'm Bill Enright from FFChamps.com. He is Jared Smola, SportsInjuryPredictor.com. And Jared, as I teased it a little bit before, this has been a rough season for elite fantasy MVP type players going down with injuries. This week, we're dealing with Antonio Brown.
Yeah, fantasy football is so brutal. Like, Brown gets you this far, and then you get to week 15, and he leaves in the second quarter. So it's rough.
And he has a torn calf muscle or partially torn calf muscle?
Partially torn calf muscle. So we have two of these in our database. They are Victor Cruz and Marqise Lewis, both in the past couple of years. Both those guys suffered their injuries in November and ended up on IR. But Brown's injury is different, and I don't want to get too deep into it because, again, I'm not a doctor, but his injury was a result of blunt force to the calf rather than like a stretching of the muscle. So his injury is different, and it sounds like he's going to be back for the playoffs, although he's probably going to miss the final 2 weeks of the regular season.
Right. So if you think about it for the Steelers' perspective, they have week 16, week 17, likely a bye for the wild card weekend. So it's almost a full month for Antonio Brown to get back to full health.
Right, and they get Houston and Cleveland these next 2 weeks. Games they should be able to win, and if they do win those, like you said, they will have that bye. So 4 weeks for Brown to get ready.
Great if you're a Steelers fan. Terrible news if you're a fantasy football manager. Let's move on. A couple more wide receivers. Davante Adams from the Green Bay Packers. He's been a top 15 guy with or without Aaron Rodgers. He leaves the game against the Panthers after scoring a touchdown, so you got some points out of him. But this is his now second concussion of the year.
Right, second concussion of the season. He took that cheap shot from Danny Trevathan midway through the year. He also was concussed last October, so that's 3 concussions in the past 14 months for Adams. To add insult to injury, the Packers play on Saturday night, so he has one fewer day to get cleared. So I would plan on Adams not playing in Week 16. We'll see about Week 17.
All right, let's go to some other receivers from across the league. This one was kind of a weird situation, right? We saw him get carted off the field, Keenan Allen from the Chargers. We saw him get carted off the field, but we haven't really had an update or anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was Saturday night, and we still have nothing from the Chargers on Keenan Allen, so I don't want to speculate. Backs can be tricky, and there's only 2 weeks left in the season, so I don't want to speculate, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's not able to come back from this.
Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Marqise Lee also expected to miss the rest of the regular season.
Yeah, sprained ankle. It sounds like he avoided a high sprain, but still, average games missed for a sprained ankle is 2.1 games, so that would knock him out for the rest of the season. Sounds like he has a pretty good shot, though, to be back for the start of the playoffs.
Jeremy Maclin from the Baltimore Ravens also injured in Week 15. Jared, let's move over to the running back position where Rex Burkhead for the Patriots, he's been in a running back 2, certainly in PPR leagues, maybe borderline running back 1, because he's scoring at will, but he's going to be out for the remainder of the regular season as well.
Yeah, and no update from the Patriots on the exact injury here. It does sound like Burkhead avoided a torn ACL, so I think the most likely injury here is a sprained MCL. That's generally a 2-week injury. 94% of players with sprained MCLs miss between 0 and 4 games, so I think you're looking at that timetable. So, like you said, I think he's done for the regular season. Good shot to be back for the start of the playoffs.
We talked about Keenan Allen from the Chargers getting injured. Also in that game, running back from the Chargers, Austin Eckler. This really opens things up for Melvin Gordon. If you're a Melvin Gordon owner, you have to be kind of excited that Eckler's out because he's been stealing a lot of touches.
Yeah, broken hand for Eckler, so he is done for the season. He's averaged about 5 carries and 2.8 targets per game over the last 8, so that's not insignificant. Gordon should pick up most of those.
David Johnson, Aaron Rodgers, Odell Beckham Jr., Dalvin Cook, Deshaun Watson, the list goes on and on. Now Antonio Brown, sadly, is on that list as well. Jared, it's been crazy year for injuries, and 1 more week left for the Fantasy Championship. Hopefully, we don't have as much to report on next week.
Hopefully not. It might be our fault for starting this video.
He is Jared Smola, SportsInjuryPredictor.com. Thanks for watching. Good luck in your Fantasy Championship.